Hi yogis, and once again welcome back to my home for another yoga practice today. We're going to be doing a really nice yin sequence today, specifically targeting the hips with a bit of a background focus on releasing stress and tension that comes into play in the body and the mind around control. Whether we feel like we have control or we don't feel like we have control, yes, little struggles around that can often be held as tension in the hips. Energy reciprocal partners to the hips is actually the jaw area as well. So if you notice, your cheekbones coming down is very similar to your hip bones coming down. Really close structure there. So you might also notice that you're starting to hold some of the stress also through the TMJ, through the jaw, that kind of thing too. So as much as we're going to focus on opening up through the hips, we're also going to focus on opening up and just releasing tension and stress through the jaw. So before we get into our practice, make sure you have a glass of water with you if you need. Grab 2 big pillows or a bolster. We're going to use them right before our Shavasana to really get into a nice, comfortable, big open release for our final pose before Shavasana. But before we lay down and get cozy, we're just going to do a little massage and a little bit of breath work just for the jaw area. So take your hands, if you want to warm up the energy in the hands, just give the hands a little rub. You're going to start to feel a little bit of heat, a little bit of friction, just stimulating the energy centers, the meridian points in the hands. Perfect. Bring the hands together. Take a nice big deep breath in and a deep breath out. Take another nice big deep breath in and a big deep breath out. One more. Feel the whole body starting to relax. Deep breath in, sinking in to your mat. Exhale. Perfect. Just those breaths can do so much. Now let's bring the 2 fingers and we're going to start up. You can even start at the temples if you're feeling tension in there. And we're just going to do little circles here. Gentle, taking some nice breaths and just starting to outline the jaw. If you notice areas of tension, just smoothing those muscles out, taking some deep breaths. And just reminding yourself, I am okay, I am centered, I am calm. Take a nice big deep breath in and a deep breath out. I am okay, I am centered, I am calm. You might even feel some yawns starting to come in because it's absolutely amazing the amount of stress and tension we can hold in this area. You might even feel it up in and around the ears. You can rub in behind the ears. Again, those nice little circles, not going too hard, being very supportive with this touch. Taking a nice big deep breath in and a deep breath out. Beautiful. We're going to bring the fingers and just give the back of the cranium a little massage too, so that bone just up from where the spine meets the cranium, the occiput, partners up with the sacrum, which is just down in the hips up from the tailbone. Take a couple of breaths here. Just let the head sink back into this gentle massage. If you have a friend or family member or loved one home with you, ask them to give you a massage. Always feels better when it comes from someone else, but it can feel good from ourselves too. Okay, so just apply a little bit of pressure into the back of the cranium, not too much that it hurts or anything, and just take a nice big deep breath in. And as you exhale, just really relax into the hands. Beautiful. Take another nice big deep inhale and exhale. Bring the hands down to your side. Now use the arms to release some stress. So just take a nice big deep breath into the hands and exhale. Take a breath into the arms and exhale. Beautiful, yogis. Wonderful way to start our practice. Awesome. We're now going to come all the way down onto our back body, coming into Shavasana. So make sure you have enough room behind you to lower yourself down, using the backs of the thighs for some support. Legs go long once back body reaches the earth. Take a nice big deep breath in and a deep breath out. Feel your mat start to come up and support back body for you. Feel the body sink into the mat. Feel tension start to release from the muscles. Busyness start to release from the mind. Start to send the breath down to the belly. Filling the belly up like a balloon as you inhale. And deflating as you exhale. Take a couple of breaths with the area in behind the eyes. The muscles in behind the eyes also can hold a lot of stress during this time. And so send a couple of beautiful, supportive breaths into this area too. Awesome. And so knowing that we're going to be releasing tension in the hips, and that a lot of that tension can be unprocessed emotions, as well as our journey with control. Whether we feel we have control or we don't have control, and finding our harmony within that place. Take a couple of breaths and think of your intention for your practice today, knowing that it can have that flavor to it, or you can bring in anything that resonates with your heart today. Breathe in and breathe out. Take another breath for the jaw. Notice if tension has come back into this area. And just allow the tongue to release from the top of the mouth, the teeth to unclench. Perfect. We're going to start to invite movement into the body. Still try to keep that tranquility within, keeping the awareness down in the heart center. Maybe shining a light there. We're going to start by just slowly rolling the head down to the left. Inhaling it up. Exhaling towards the right. Inhaling it up continue to slowly roll the head back and forth. Finishing this last round. And then bringing the head up to neutral. We can start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, make some circles for the wrists and the ankles, letting out any cricks and cracks, doing some nice deep breaths, and going the other way. Let's spread the fingers and toes wide apart. Let's curl them in. 2 more, spreading them wide apart, curling them in. Wide apart and curling them in. On the next inhale, let's reach the arms up overhead. Bring the legs together, point the toes, bring length into the body. And exhale, relax the body on the earth. Inhale, reach. Exhale, relax. Inhale, reach. Lengthen, maybe bring a smile to the face. And exhale, relax. Beautiful. We're going to bring knees in for a hug now. Hands are going to find the shins or the backs of the thighs. We're going to come into some gentle rocking. And bring your awareness to back body into the spine. Come into stillness now. We're going to inhale, bring the head up towards the knees, curl up in a ball. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, bring the head up. Exhale, lower down. Last one, inhale. Bring forehead towards the knees. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful. Starting to get into the hips, soles of the feet come down to the mat, about hip width apart. We're going to bring the right ankle to the left thigh. Let the back settle on your mat. We're going to do something a little different here for our figure 4, thread the needle, is we're going to take that right knee and leaving the ankle on the left thigh, we're going to start to direct that right knee over towards the left shoulder. So keep the hips anchored on your mat, and you're going to notice a bit of a different stretch here. This is a really good stretch if you get into some sciatica problems. And so just gently directing that knee over towards the opposite shoulder, avoiding any pinching, any pain, just looking for that nice deep stretch. Reminder here, yogis, with our yin practice, because we do hold these poses for up to 5 minutes, maybe even a little longer, you always want to find around 75% of this pose. You don't want to go the full 100 because it will be too far to then hold for that amount of time. Take a couple of nice big deep breaths here. Take a nice big deep breath in. Hi, buddy. And then you can exhale, just let that knee drift back. Take a couple of breaths here. The right hand can come to the thigh and it can just give a little support there. Take a couple of breaths. And now you're welcome to stay here. You might be feeling a deep enough stretch in the hips from this position. And if you want to go a little farther though, if you want to deepen this stretch, both hands are going to reach for that left thigh. Lift the left foot up off the mat And you're going to go into the second stage of this pose. Make sure that left foot is hanging nice and light, no tension. We don't want that foot flexed, just relaxed. Take a couple of nice big deep breaths. Now if you want to go to level 3, the hands can actually grip the shin versus the thigh. I'm going to go even deeper. Again, we're going to hold this pose for a few more breaths, so we don't want any pinching, any pain. Check in with the shoulders, check in with the jaw. Again, with each exhale, we're focusing on releasing. This is a time to not push yourself too far, but to be aware of how you're feeling and find the right support. Take a nice big deep breath in. And as you exhale, release that left leg. Let the left sole of the foot come back onto the mat. But we're going to keep that right leg with the ankle on the thigh. We're going to come into a nice twist here. So hands can come out to a T if that feels good, or cactus. Taking a nice big deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to come down into a twist on the left-hand side. So that right sole of the foot finds the earth. Hips are going to come up, shoulders stay anchored, and then the head can drift away to the right if you want to go a little deeper here. Breathe into this twist. Notice if any part of the body feels like it's clenching or holding itself up. See if you can support that body to just release that holding pattern. Three more breaths. Inhale, head comes up to center. Nice big deep exhale. And then inhale, bring the legs back up. Now we can uncross the legs. Bring the knees in for a hug. And you can do some gentle rocking, or you can just hold and take some breaths in stillness. Whatever feels good for you. Coming into stillness now. If you are rocking, just take a breath and feel the difference between right hip and left hip. Bring that awareness to how much tension you're actually carrying in that area and feel the difference just after that simple sequence. Take a nicely deep breath in. Exhale, bring the soles of the feet back down to the earth once again. Feet about hip width apart. We're now going to bring left ankle to right thigh, other side. Take a couple of breaths here, and then coming back to that first pose again, we're going to start to bring the left knee across the body over towards the right shoulder. And again, keeping that ankle on the thigh. Getting into a bit of a different stretch here. Notice how you're feeling through the shoulders, through the jaw, through the cranium. Take a couple of breaths here, releasing any unnecessary tension. You can close the eyes if that's part of your practice, helping invite in meditation and a deeper internal focus. If the mind gets busy, again, bring it back to the heart and just start to detach from the thoughts, allowing them to come and go in the background. I love this stretch. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Melt into this opening. just release that leg, allow it to come back. Keep a gentle little flex in the left foot, protecting the knee. Left hand can come to the left thigh, just giving it a little bit of support here. Okay, so you can stay here. This might be a deep enough stretch for your hips today. Totally good. Or if you'd like to go a little deeper, hands are gonna reach through, grab that right thigh, lifting the right foot off of the mat. Can totally feel that. And just breathing here, again, checking in with the shoulders. We don't want the shoulders and the arms clenched up. They're just giving some light support here to the stretch. Be mindful of your breath. And again, you want to go even deeper. Hands come to the shin, but avoiding going too far. And again, checking in with where your awareness is, if it needs to be redirected. Focusing on a glowing light in the center of your chest, breathing with that. Take a nice big deep breath in. Exhale, release that foot back down onto the earth, but we're keeping the ankle on the thigh. We're going to come into our twist now, down to the right-hand side. Hands can come out to a T or a cactus, whatever feels good. Take a nice big deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly lower down to the other side. Again, that left sole of the foot finds the floor, making a bit of a kickstand here. Now the head can gaze to the left if it's comfortable for the neck. Let the shoulders be nice and relaxed. Hips are coming up off the mat. Breathe here. Allowing these moments of stillness to be exactly what you need, where you reconnect to your center and find your calm. On the next inhale, head comes up. Nice big deep exhale. Inhale, slowly bringing the legs back up. We can uncross and bring the knees in for a nice squeeze. Maybe even a yawn coming in. Again, as we get into the hips, don't be surprised if maybe some emotions come forward or some yawns. Just the way the body is releasing. Beautiful. Take a couple of breaths here. Do some rocking side to side, or maybe some nice butterfly leg circles. Whatever feels good. Listen to the movement that your body wants at this time. If you're doing circles, take a moment to go the other way. Beautiful. Coming into stillness, take a nice big deep breath in and a deep breath out. Awesome. We're going to roll over onto our right or left hand side, whatever is comfortable for you. Coming into that fetal position, resting the head on the forearm. Feel side body connect to the earth, and just take 3 breaths here. Maybe reminding yourself that you are grounded, that you are in the flow, and you are releasing tension around control. Beautiful. On the next inhale, take that top hand, plant it onto the mat in front of your chest and start to push yourself up, coming all the way up into seated position. This is a great time to grab a sip of water if you need a sip of water. Get nice and tall, find your Sukhasana, resting hands on the knees, closing down the eyes. Let's take a few deep breaths here and find our center again. We're going to start holding some poses a little longer. So remembering those 3 phases of our yin practice. 1 is finding your edge, that's 75%, not going past that. And then 2, calming the mind while you're in the pose. And then stilling the body while you hold the pose, avoiding any twitching, shifting. That's when you know you've completely listened to how you should be and you've settled there. Continue to breathe. Maybe give yourself that reminder, I got this. I am open. I am resilient. Okay, so coming into deer pose next, we're going to take that right leg and we're going to bring it forward so it's parallel to one of the edges of your mat, whatever edge is facing me. We're going to slide over onto the right side hip, left leg comes out, and the left leg is going to be parallel to the other edge of your mat. And so almost as if you're making half of a square here. And so coming nice and tall into our deer pose. To start off, this is a little micro focus. It's an interesting pose, but this left hip, we're directing the muscle downward towards our mat. So kind of like a rotational in. And so you can use the fingers as a bit of a kickstand or a prop to hold ourselves up, but really I could stay like this too if I needed to. We're not coming down into those hands or breaking our form here. So nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, just honoring the natural curves, but maybe bringing a few breaths that we can release tension that's maybe compressing the spine. And again, just feeling that stretch of the hip coming in. And we're gonna hold here. You can close down the eyes if that feels good. And again, maybe connecting into some mantras or some gratitude or love. Again, allowing these moments of stillness for you to challenge yourself to find that internal calm, that internal peacefulness, that inner sanctuary. Beautiful job. Now keeping the legs as they are, there's going to be a couple of options as we come into a nice fold here. So we're going to start to walk the hands over that right leg. We're going to start to fold here. Now, this might be as far as you want to go. You want to make sure you're not totally like lifting up off those hips, staying nice and anchored here. Hips aren't moving, we're just walking the hands. This might be where you are today. Listen to the body, we're finding that 75% here. You might want to grab your pillow or your props. You might even come all the way down, or even resting the head on stacked fists. Whatever feels good, know that we're holding this pose. Getting into now the right leg a little more. And you're going to know you've gone a little too far if you're starting to jack yourself up through the shoulders. Upper body should still be nice and passive. And again, as we start to fold over, forward folds help us engage with the art of surrendering, letting go, going with the flow, being able to harness that trust. As we connect the essence of this in this pose, maybe connect true trust to a color that you love, and start to breathe that color through the body from head to toe. Infusing all the cells with that vibration, that color of deep, true trust. Three more breaths. And then on the next inhale, start to slowly walk yourself back up. Coming nice and tall, maybe even see if you can switch your awareness or your essence to feeling empowered. Coming back up, sitting tall, take a nice, powerful, deep breath in with vitality. And a strong, wonderful exhale. Feeling good, feeling grounded, feeling aware of who you are and all you can do. Take a couple of tall breaths. Beautiful job, yogis. So we're gonna lean over to that right side again. Bring that left leg in, moving slowly. We're gonna bring both the soles of the feet out front and just do some nice windshield wiper legs. Breathing with the hips. Perfect. Coming back into your Sukhasana, your nice, easy seat. Let the hands rest on the knees again. Close down the eyes for 3 breaths. Perfect. Feel grounded in your body from head to toe. Feel present within your body from head to toe. And let's move into deer pose on the left side. So we're going to bring that left leg out in front. Again, it's parallel with the edge of the mat. Lean over onto the left hip. Right leg comes out to the side. Again, it's like we're making half of a square here with this leg being parallel to the edge of the mat. Now we're going to be nice and tall again. You can use the fingers to do a bit of a kickstand here, but if you're pressing your weight into this, leaning in forward or leaning to the side, don't want to do that. Bring the hands up. Come into prayer. And again, we're directing, or our awareness is on that hip, trying to come down, or the thigh, trying to rotate down towards the mat. It's a really micro awareness. You could be in this pose and you could not be doing that at all, and then you won't really feel much. But as soon as you focus on that thigh coming down towards the mat, you'll instantly feel that stretch. Beautiful. And again, honor the natural curves of the spine, but try not to slouch. Bring yourself up nice and tall, and breathe here as we hold, closing down the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. This is a nice pose too, as root chakras down towards the earth, crown chakras nice and tall towards all possibilities, unmanifested potential up above. Breathe with these two key energy centers. Notice how you're feeling in the jaw, in the shoulders, in the rest of the body. Allow the upper body to be passive. Although you're holding yourself in this pose, holding that stillness, we're not clenching, we're not tight or shrugged. Nice and relaxed. Beautiful. Second part of this pose, listening to the body, not coming up off of our mat. Nice and anchored here. We're going to start to walk ourselves forward. Finding where your edge is, knowing that's maybe here and you're just hanging the head. Again, I'm not dumping weight into the hands, the wrists. They're just creating some support here. We're coming all the way down, resting the head. And again, recognizing if this is too far for you, coming up if you need to, because we are holding this pose. Again, coming into that surrendering, this is a great time to really honor your exhale, as our exhale helps us let things go. Give yourself that reminder, I got this. I am resilient. My light shines bright. Again, notice if any of the weight in the shoulders is uneven. The body should be passive. Be aware of your form. Now, if the body's getting really twitchy, or if you notice that any of the hips or any areas of the body are starting to contract, that's some really good signals that you've gone too far. You went further than that 75%. And therefore the body starts to tighten versus getting into that deep fascial release that we look for with Yin. Take one more breath here. And then on the next inhale, slowly start to walk yourself back up. And again, we're going to come back into that nice, really tall pose here, where we're going to feel empowered. Breathe with that. Take a couple of breaths with the spine. Let the shoulders relax. Perfect. Now we're going to lean over to the left side. Bring the right leg out. Bring that left leg out. Soles of the feet come to the mat, and we'll just do some windshield wiper legs again. Moving at a pace that works for you. It's so funny, both of my dogs are in this room with me, and they're both completely passed out. It's a good sign of what the energy is like in the room when you're practicing. Perfect. Bring the legs together again. Find your Sukhasana, your nice easy seat. Sit up nice and tall. So again, bring the hands to rest on the knees. Let's close down the eyes and just take a few more breaths. Maybe reminding yourself of your intention. Breathing with the whole body. Noticing where there's any tension. And just allowing tension to release a little. Perfect. Awesome. You guys are doing a great job. So we're going to come into our next pose. Now for me, I'm going to use 2 pillows for this because I want to be propped up fairly high. I want to feel a nice opener through my chest. And so knowing that pillows have some give in them, I'm going to use 2 pillows just to help with that. So we're going to do a nice heart opener, a nice reverse posture pose, coming into a supported fish. So grab your props, set them up behind you. We're going to get the hips nice and close to those props. Soles of the feet come to the earth. We're going to start to lower ourselves back, coming into that nice supported fish. Legs can go long. Hands can come down to the side. Letting the heart shine forward. Take a few moments first to check into the legs. Legs can be a little wider if you'd like, or if you're loving getting into the hips, if your body wants some more, bring the soles of the feet together, playing around with the size of your diamond. Knees can splay out to the side. The only time you don't want to do this is if you find the inner hips start to clench and tighten while you're doing this. Let the legs go long, but if you're getting into that deep stretch where the fascia and the muscles are releasing and relaxing, perfect. Beautiful. So once you find out where the legs want to be, then check in with upper body. Maybe the arms want to drift up overhead, inviting more length in. Maybe they want to rest on heart and navel, or maybe they want to just come down to the side, palms facing up or facing down, facing up, open to receive, facing down, connecting to the earth to get grounded. We're going to hold this pose, so feel into what is the most comfortable. And again, we're coming into a reverse posture pose where the heart is opening up and shining forward. Let the shoulders slide down back body. This might feel a little awkward if you're carrying tension in through the heart and the chest. If you've been having tension in the lungs too, you might find this area really, really tight. Just breathe and support yourself. This is a good opportunity to really connect to that essence of namaste, that the light in me connects to the light in you, and that light is part of the light of the universe, and that we are all one. And just breathing with that oneness, connecting to a deeper layer of support, unity. And just allow the glow of your light with each breath to shine brighter and brighter and brighter. Notice where your mind is, redirect it, if you need to. Breathe with your light. See if you can allow the whole body to lighten up, open up, flow with more vitality and ease. Smooth out the forehead, in behind the eyes, around the temples and through the jaw. Breathe tranquility, peacefulness from head to toe. You have the knees laid out to the side, maybe even using the hands on the thighs. Inhale, slowly bring the knees back up to touch. Heel toe the feet out a little wide, keeping the knees knocked in. Take a couple of nice big deep breaths here. Just allowing for that circulation to come back into the hips. If the legs are long, you can bring soles of the feet back to the mat, whatever feels good. Bring the feet back to hip width apart. Knees high to the sky. And we're going to slowly start to come up using our next inhale. So as we inhale, we're going to tuck the chin, reach for the back of the thighs. Slowly, mindfully pull the body up. Hands are going to wrap around the legs. First, let's lengthen through the crown of the head. Take a nice big deep breath in. And a deep breath out, and then drop the head if that feels good. Send the breath into back body. Inhale, the head comes up long again. Beautiful. Now we're going to start to get ourselves ready for our final Shavasana. And so it's up to you the pose you would like to take at this time. Maybe it's even coming all the way into a belly Shavasana, which can be really supportive. Just make sure if you have the head turned to one side, that halfway through you turn it to the other. Could come into a side shavasana or all the way onto your back, whatever feels right. Taking your time now, slowly start to bring yourself into the most relaxing pose to end your practice on today. Once you come into this pose, take a moment to connect to your light again. Take 3 breaths here and remind yourself of some of your best qualities. If this is at all hard to connect to, no worries. Phone a friend. Think of how a loved one 2 later 4 would describe you. And just allow your strengths, your uniqueness, your beautiful light, your true self to be with you as we dive a little deeper and release anything that is no longer serving our light right now. yogis, feel free to take as much time as you need in your final Shavasana today. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to practice with me, inviting me into your home as well. Please remember that you have a beautiful, bright, glowing light full of so much wonderful abilities and potential. Shine that light bright. Believe in all that you are. My light recognizes your light. It connects to your light, and it definitely bows to that wonderful light. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. See you soon.